Let me show you guys how I designed this funeral program cover in CorelDraw. So we're going to focus on the layouts, right? Layouts, typos, and mainly we're going to focus on how to blend all these backgrounds and placing your text. All right, so this is what you're going to look at in this design. Coming over here, you can see this is the final copy which you have here. All right, so this one is the one that comes with the back cover. So over here, guys, this is the information we're going to make use of. All right, so these are all the stock images we're going to make use of. So I'm going to put the link in the down description below. Welcome to CorelDraw, guys. What we're going to do is come over to our page size and select these letters. All right, so we're going to change this to A3 size. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to change the orientation to landscape. So if you want to change that, come over to your property bar and select your page orientation over here, then select landscape. All right, so once you do that, this is what you're going to have. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to come over to your rectangle tool over here. All right, this is your rectangle tool. Then once you double click on it this way, it will bring itself to this workspace which we have here. All right, so basically what we're going to do is you can see we have a black stroke here. That is called a black stroke or an outline. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to this thumbnail over here. All right, this thumbnail over here, and we're going to drag that into this space to make it front and back page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select this one. All right, and flip this to this part. Then we're going to highlight everything this way, then zoom out. All right, then make sure this is dragged to this space because we have an extra space there. So this is what we're going to have. So we have our back and we have our front page. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our margin for the design. Now I'm bringing your rectangle tool. All right, then drag this way, then come over to your drawing units over here. This is your drawing units, guys, the drawing units. Then select, then change it to inches, then go back and select the text tool. What you're going to do is you're going to come over to your object size or your size and use 0.7 by 0.7. all right, now click on enter. All right, this is what you're going to have. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to select your shift key on your keyboard, then select this box which is this object you're seeing here. So let me change the color of this so you're going to understand. So I'm going to give it a red color. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard, select this box, then press letter T to take it to the top, then press letter L to take it to the left. All right, so I'm going to zoom out this way, then select my ruler and bring it over here. All right, then I'm going to select this, drag it down here. Now this is what you're going to have, guys. I'm going to highlight this again, hold my shift, select this, press letter B to bring it to the bottom. I'm going to drag my ruler to this part. All right, bring it over here. In case you don't understand anything I'm teaching here, please go and watch my beginners class so you're going to understand in case you're a beginner. All right, now basically I'm going to highlight this, hold shift, drag this here, bring this to this part. All right, so I'm going to actually do this and zoom out, bring this one here, put another one. All right, then highlight this, hold shift, press letter R to take it to the right of this page, then drag this one over here. All right, so this is what you're going to have, guys. So we're going to delete this because we're done with it. Now I'm going to bring another one and put it to the middle. Now remember I told you we have a black stroke or an outline. So this is actually a black stroke. You can see the black line there. So to remove that, what you're going to do is highlight everything this way, Ctrl A to highlight, then come over to this thumbnail over here, this color thumbnail on your color palette. All right, right click on it and it will go out. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import the stock images for this tutorial. To do that, come over to file, select import, then locate where your files are saved. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this big, so I'm going to select this, select basically what you're going to work with. All right, Then I'm going to click on imports. Then when I do that, this is what you're going to have. All right, this is what you are going to have. What we're going to do now is we're going to place this one here. All right, then I'm going to select this background and scale it up this way. All right, so when I scale it up, I'm going to bitmap it because I want the image to be, the MB is kind of wide, is big. All right, so I want to reduce it by bitmapping so that the image will not have a high will not like my system. Do you understand? I'm going to convert this to bitmap. All right, then when I convert it to bitmap, come over to your color mode and select RGB, then click on, leave your resolution to 300, then you can click on OK. All right, once you do that, we're going to right click and select power clip, place it inside this frame. So we're going to right click and select edit power clip. All right, then I'm going to place this one here. Do you understand? Now I'm going to place this one here. Then we're going to come over to effects to blur this background because you can see the background is a bit sharp. All right, so we're going to go to effects, select blur, then select Gaussian blur. All right, so we're going to wait for this to load. So on my right hand side, you're going to see the radius. All right, over here we're going to see this radius, so we're going to increase it. All right, so we're going to increase it this way. So once we do that, this is what we're going to have. So we can basically close this. Then we're going to select our transparency tool and fade in this. Just select this one. As you can see, this box here, fade it out this way, fade it out this way, and this is what you're going to have. So I'm going to click on finish and I'm going to bring in this image. We're going to scale it up this way, scale it up this way, scale it up this way. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to bitmap this image. All right, let's bitmap it. Then next thing we're going to do is we're going to right click and select power clip, then place it into this frame. All right, the reason for the power clip is because you can see this image is not fitting to this, it's going out of frame. All right, so you can see it's going out of frame. So right click, select power clip, place it inside the frame so it will fit in. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to our notes and copy our text. So over here we have celebrating a life and legacy of faith. So I'm going to copy that, select text tool, click here and paste it. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to break this apart, break from here and this. All right, now this is what you're going to have. So I'm going to use Ctrl K to break this apart. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here, and the font we are going to make use of is this FSP demo. That is the name of the font. So I'm going to come over to this. I've write out these things for you guys because I've designed this before. I'm just trying to show you guys how I designed it. All right, so I'm going to type on my text to FSP. All right, so we're going to wait for that to load. For those of you who always complain that you don't have enough fonts on your system, I'm not going to advise you to have too much or a lot of fonts on your system, because always download fonts that you're going to use, because sometimes when you have it at the end of the day, you have lots of fonts, you're not going to make use of everything at the end of the day. So download the ones you can make use of. You understand? Now I'm going to click on enter. All right, now this is the font, so I'm going to place that just right here. Then I'm going to reduce this a bit. Now remember the line we created, which is the ruler. Always make sure your design is on guideline. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to select this, scale this one up this way, scale it up this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and the font we're going to make use of is called Stella. All right, then this is the font. Now I'm going to basically scale this up. So once I scale this up, this is what we're going to have. All right, this is what we are going to have. So I'm going to bring this guy over here and bring this guy just down here. Then we're going to scale this one just right there and bring this guy just here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. I'm going to select my interactive fill tool over here. All right, then select it, First of all, let me select my eyedropper tool, pick a color from here. Alright, so once we pick a color, we're going to give it this color. Then we're going to come over to our color mode over here. So once you double click on it, it will bring this. Then you're going to just select the color you want. Alright, so this is the color I want to make use of. Then I'm going to click on OK. Then I'm going to select my interactive field tool, drag this way to give it, it's going to be dual color. Alright, the color will be 2, but this part will be a bit bright. Alright, so I'm going to select this color we selected earlier. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this, and this is what you're going to have. So I think I'm okay with this. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. As you can see, it is on the object or the subject. That's the picture. So we're going to cut the image, sorry, the text, go into the frame, paste it, then select this image, this one, use shift page up to bring it to the top. And we can bring it down a bit, and that is what we're going to have. So for this one, we're going to break this apart. All right, so what we're going to do is, you can see I have this. This is fades. All right, so like I said, I don't have all the fonts. This is an image. All right, but I'm going to show you guys how I generated this all this text, because I don't have this font, but there are ways I generate all this. All right. So if you want to know more about funeral branding, you can sign up for my masterclass. The link will be on the down description below and in the comment section. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to extract this by converting to bitmap. So once you convert to bitmap, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come over to trace bitmap, outline trace, line arts. So let's wait for this to load. So this is it. What we're going to do is we're going to click on OK. Now I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to select this to ungroup. Remove the white parts you don't want. All right, remove all the white parts. All right, remove all these white parts. Now once you're done doing that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to bring this guy here. All right, reduce it. Once you reduce it this way, then give it this color. All right, can give it this color. Then you will delete the ones, this one. You're going to delete this fit because we have it already. We have it here already. So for this one, I'm going to choose Stella as the font. Then I'm going to just give it this color. All right, that's light gray, so we're going to leave that to that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in this bed and just place it just right here. All right, so once I do that, I'm going to come over to my node, and I'm going to copy Heaven's Newest Star. Remember, this is what I mostly put on my designs, all right, for funerals. All right, and the font I'll be making use of is called Bebas New. Heaven's Newest Star. Just keep it this way, as simple as that. Make sure you're aligned. Make sure this is aligned. Then select your shape so you can see the spacing is much. So you're going to reduce this spacing this way and give it light gray this way. That is just perfect. I'm going to bring in this star, reduce it, then make it 3, copy. All right. Once I do that, I can make it this way, and that is cool, guys. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to copy the name. That's the name of the man, guys. I'm going to copy the name and the date of the funeral and when he passed on. So for this one, I'm going to break this apart. All right, so for the reverend, I'm going to break this apart. So for this reverend, guys, I want it to have same font with this fate. So I generated the same fonts. All right, so I generated this font. So I'm going to come over to this, go to bitmap. Sorry, I'm going to convert it first of all. Then go to trace bitmap, outline trace, line art, and wait for this to load. Now you can see we have our before over here and we'll have our after with transparent background. So we're going to click on OK, then delete this one, ungroup it to remove these whites ones you don't need them. You can group that. So here we're going to break this apart, then we're going to delete this, bring this guy here, all right, and give it this color. Change this font to Stellar. All right, so we're going to scale this one, then make uppercase for this letter O, give it same color. For this one you can leave it for black. Then what you're going to do is you're going to place this one here, select this and make it center alignment, make sure it's aligned, then bring this one here. All right, so this is what you're going to have, guys. So you can see we have same font over here with same font, which makes it more unique. So we're going to come over to the back page, which I'm going to come over here and we're going to do something like this. All right, so we're going to do something like, we're going to break this page in two. Let me give you an outline. So I'm going to copy this background, paste it here, right click, select power clip, place it in this background, then bring it over here. All right, then we're going to remove the black stroke so you can see the difference in the color. All right, now I'm going to come over to this, bring in this image, place it just right here. All right, for this one I'm going to let me increase this way. All right, then for this one we're going to change the color of this. We're going to pick a color from the suit, since it's having kind of a bluish color. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to blue. All right, we're going to give it a blue color this way. Bring this guy here, going to choose the color here, make it more matured, All right, I think I'm cool with this. So I'm going to leave this to this. Then you can see there's a blue on the suit, so we're going to just adopt that color. Then I'm going to right click and select, copy this, cut this and power clip it inside, power clip this one inside, right click and go to edit bitmap, then cut this and select this image and bring it to forward, and you can leave that to that. All right, so this is what we're going to have. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in this image. I just need the light, guys. It's just the light that I need. So I'm going to select transparency to fade out this edge. Then we're going to convert to bitmap. You can use CMYK. Oh, sorry, use RGB. RGB is what we're going to use for this one. Don't worry, guys, if you print it, it will still give you what you want. All right, then once you do that, you can come over to this and change to screen, or you can select soft lights. Let's do soft lights, or let's say overlay. It's not giving me what I want, guys, but I'm going to just fade it out this way. So let's just fade it out this way. So we're going to reduce this. Power clip it inside this frame, then take it behind fill this way. All right, now I'm going to bring in this guy. I'm going to use my shape tool, put a node here, put another node here, then delete this node. Then I'm going to right click, select to curve, then I'm going to drag this guy over here, drag this guy just right here. Then I'm going to place this one over here. I'm going to right click and select power clip, place it inside this frame, and I'm going to select this and fade out this edge this way. All right, to blend it to the background. So as you can see, it is blended to the background, so you can increase this if you wish. Then for this, I'm going to just come over to this and add up this quote. This quote was generated by me, so change the font to this, give it italics. All right, then you can reduce it this way bring it to this spot. Use your shape tool to reduce the spacing this way. Then you can put something like this. Let's use Weber's new. Let's increase this, place it just right here. All right, so you can bring this guy here, put it just right here, give it this color. All right, so you can see we're just using minimal color, guys. So we're going to come over to the notes, copy appreciation, and paste it here. Copy appreciation, paste, or you can just type it, guys. Appreciation. All right, so the fonts will be Stellar, same font, same color. Make sure it's aligned, guys. Make sure it's aligned. I'm going to bring in this and make it this time around. I'm going to make it 6. So make it a bit smaller. All right, guys, so I'm going to select, copy the appreciation this way. Once you copy it, put your text tool over here and paste it. All right, so once you paste it, select everything, use Ctrl-J to make it justify. All right, once you do that, you can change the font size to 10. All right, so once you do that, you can change the font to FSP. Then that is it, guys. So you can increase it to 12 since it's small. All right, so this is what you're going to have. Then we're going to make a drop cap using the first letter. All right, this is a drop cap. This is where you do drop cap over here. You can see this is where you do drop cap. Drop cap simply means the first letter to be bigger than the other ones. That is drop cap, right? Then I'm going to highlight this, bring it up a bit, and I'm going to say, so if you're using these fonts, be careful, guys. You can see this is, you can change the fonts. The fonts always change some things. You can change the font to normal fonts. Then you can just do this one, change the font to Poppins to bring out that. All right, you can see. So what you're going to do is reduce this maybe to 10. So that is what you're going to do, guys. So it always changes some text. I don't know why. So it doesn't, the font doesn't carry some characters. All right, now you're going to say sign. All right, so you're going to use this font, auto this is the font, guys. All right, I'm going to place this here. In case this is showing red, just delete this one so it will come back to green, to blue. So you're going to say the family. All right, so place this here, make it small letter for the family. All right, so we're going to place that here. Then can just keep that here, and we'll come over here and type Jim Graphics. Then I can just put my number. All right, so we're going to just place that small here. All right, place that just right here. So this is what we're going to have. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to this, put this box over here, copy this color using our eyedropper tool, select our transparency to fade out this edge. I just want this place to be a bit dark. All right, then can bring it up a bit, convert it to bitmap, fade out this edge. All right, so it doesn't affect the other page. So right click, select power clip, place it into this frame. All right, now guys, this is how we design this funeral program in CorelDraw. So if you want to know more on how we design the inner pages, sign up for this masterclass, which will be coming up on 17th of August. All right, so the registration details will be on the down description below and also in the comment section. All right, so this is the inner pages. All right, this is the page layouts. All right, so if you want to know how we design the inner page, so kindly sign up for the masterclass. So I'm going to explain the photo editing, how I edit images, how to print, how to lay, and how to lay your design for printing, and how to start a conversation with the clients, and how to market yourself as a funeral branding designer. All right, this is it for this tutorial, guys. So if you have any question regarding the masterclass, please reach out to me